my website is soundgroundfinancial.com.
Very good. Thank you. Go ahead.
Dave Swift, Dallas Laser Dentistry. Cosmetic and general dentistry. In general, for those folks who are
I
going.
just thought about something.
Oh, what?
I totally skipped a dental appointment this morning. I just thought about that. Was great. Yeah, I can switch now.
Very good. Well,
Now that we have that,
yeah, we've done that. High stress causes all sorts of negative things that go on with your oral health. So we can handle that, and then we're ready to get out and start their lives again, having the best possible smile helps self-confidence, as well as be more attractive.
Thank you. And you joined Divas last month, or last week? Welcome.
Very much.
Why did you join?
You. I was thinking about it more, but I didn't like what you said.
my name's Jeff McKissick. I have a company called Defense by Design where I teach you to spot trouble before trouble spots you. So hopefully you can forego having to hire an enemy.
He is the predecessor.
On the corporate side, mostly all I do is work with HR, risk management, and insurance companies to teach principles of threat assessment and criminal profiling. On the Divas side, you already have people that many times got into a bad relationship once because they didn't see the warning signs ahead. Hopefully what I do is make sure they don't make the same mistake twice by learning what signs do you need to look for, pay attention to, and know they aren't going to change just because they're marrying you.
Why did you come back today?
Why did I come back? Because you're actually now 10 minutes from my house instead of an hour or more from my house. So, and hopefully I can absorb more the second time around.
That's what okay. Good. So I was hoping you would give those that are first timers the reason why you came back for that reason exactly. Perfect, Grant, thank you.
Okay. Grant Seabolt, I'm your business lawyer with Seabolt Law Group. How I work with this organization is that I don't do divorce law. Okay. I don't do anything else. I do business law. So what I do is I usually work with the divorce lawyers or parties on their own who have a closely held business. You need somebody to represent the business interest, preserve the major asset of many times of the family, handling that. Or I deal when they're warring over the business. Somebody needs to deal with that issue. Or I deal with forensic accountants when somebody's decided to steal the business from the spouse, and now we've got to go back and get it. Okay, and also on the positive side, when it's time to get your act together and do something different, starting your own business and getting out there on the street and getting things done, that's what I do also. Grant Seabolt, your business partner.
Mark Schmidt, co-chair for the Dallas County for Divas. I met Amber over 3 years ago. Liked what she told me about her vision, and so I became involved with it shortly after that. I do investments and insurance, and mainly with professionals, doctors groups. We handle all kinds of the complete umbrella, P&C, disability, group, life, retirement, all of that. But also, I'm a general consultant for a general contractor here. We just moved our facility across the street from the Longhorn Bar and Grill. You know where that is, the ballroom? Down Riverfront, we've got 4 acres down there, 5 buildings, and we're really excited. So we built mainly commercial strip centers, medical centers, and restaurants and hair salons seem to be our niche. Mark Schmidt.
Good stuff. Thank you. How many of you were at the last event that we did? So tell me a little bit about what you learned. What stood out, what didn't stand out, what needs more processing. Go.
Well, I know from my slow brain where all things cyber are concerned, it does take a while to sink in because I do not speak cyberese. And so when it comes to you're talking to SEOs, I actually know what that word is. What it really means is another thing entirely. I know the acronym. So a lot of it, again, I'm one of those that I'm on the beginning end of the learning curve where it comes to what you need to be doing online. Readily admit it, but that also puts me in a position where I'm willing to learn.
I love that. Perfect, perfect.
Obviously saw what I liked in terms of the platform, particularly for using social media and seeing exposure, and on the video side as well as the static side.
Now you guys are already producing some videos, right?
Yeah,
Want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we the partnership we had with one of the UHS checks. We basically produce shows that are self-serving in that they are designed to talk about various aspects of cosmetic dentistry or general dentistry, or one we shot two last week and kind of ran together, but it was how do you find a dentist? Because oftentimes somebody's leaving town and you don't know somebody, they're still asking for a referral. So we figured the best thing to do is at least give them the checklist. Here's what you look for, here's how you go about finding a good dentist as opposed to a dentist.
Excellent.
And we all forget it is the person at the top of the class and the person at the bottom of the class. They still have doctor in front of their name, but not all the same.
Absolutely. What is the value of him recording those kind of videos?
Huge.
What is it?
People see what he does.
Absolutely.
There's so many names out there. Like I said, being a doctor, people have a doctor's name. People want to see what you do, how you do it, and the environment, where you're located at, and your profession.
Absolutely. Why do you think most people don't record videos? They don't have what?
Pizzazz.
What do you think they say the reason is they don't record videos for the business for their businesses?
They don't have time for it.
They don't have time. But you just said that while he's doing something else, those videos are speaking on his behalf. So what is that doing for him? Exposure, which is doing what? Which is giving you more time. So this is really what this is about. As business owners, our role has to be to figure out how to digitize our best assets. And your best asset is you, hands down. It's you, it's your knowledge, it's your expertise, it's the information that's in your head. However, there's lots of reasons why people don't take the time to do that. The number one excuse is, I don't have enough time, which to me is an oxymoron, hands down an oxymoron. Because while I'm here, I have hundreds of videos that are out there working for me while I'm doing something else, recording another digital asset to put back into the digital space to allow to communicate with people while I'm here doing something different. Does that give me more time? It absolutely does. Another reason, I'm going to use this, another reason that people don't use video or don't record video is for fear of giving someone else competitive information on your business. And we've talked about Red Sea mentality versus Blue Ocean strategy. How many are familiar with the Blue Ocean strategy? Okay. So in a Blue Ocean environment, the world is of abundance. There is so much business on the planet. You don't need to worry about competition, the person down the street where this particular competitor is going to go and so forth, because quite frankly, it's bigger than us, right? There is more business on the planet for all of us right now than ever. I guarantee you. And it's not going anywhere but up. When scarcity or a Red Sea mentality that we may lose to a competitor, we may lose a competitive advantage, when that rules us, the challenge is that the cost of the missed opportunity from hiding under a rock is greater than the risk of losing a potential competitor or creating one, or losing a potential client or creating a potential competitor. The missed opportunity costs associated with not digitizing ourselves, not making ourselves available while we work on something else, not recreating our message, not making our message available to the general population that is not sitting in this restaurant having lunch with us today, right? This type of networking, there is a place for it. In my world, the place is what do I use this type of event for? Any thoughts? What is my number one goal at this event? I'd love to say world peace. I love everyone, and that's why we're here. We're going to have lunch and toast and all that stuff. I'd like to say I do enjoy your company. However, what is it for? Absolutely, it's to create another digital asset. Because this digital asset is going to work for me starting tomorrow, and it's going to grow and have compound interest impact on my business day over day over day, week over week over week, month over month, and year over year. So that as my business, I am one FTE technically. So are you in your business, right? One full-time employee. Take it out, okay? Some with benefits, some without. All right. So with that being said, I am one resource. If I'm putting in this much energy and I'm getting this much out of my energy consistently, what happens to my margins in my business? They stay the same. The difference, the gap, it stays the same. If I do the same activity month over month, year over year, and so forth, then it's going to stay the same. However, if I am to replicate myself continuously, so there's lots of me out there doing the same thing, what does my level of effort look like? The same? Absolutely the same. I didn't get more hours in a day. I didn't get clones, right? There's no more of me. In fact, right now in my business, I have the luxury and ability to take a minimum of 6 to 10 vacations per year without worrying about anything. Why can I do that now? What is it?
I think the cities.
You always are.
I said because you're the president of the United States.
Like you're leveraging your time with your
Very
videos.
interesting. So absolutely,
Sorry.
because there are pieces of technology that are out there working while I'm somewhere else. Is that beneficial? It is. So tell me this. Sometimes we'll have people come to events and they don't have an interest in growing their practice or their firm or their attitude or their behavior or whatever it is, and that's totally cool. I'm not that person. So, okay. In my world, I have basically 9 areas of life that I believe are very, very important to me, and I specifically work on those different areas in order to create balance and growth and so forth in those areas. How many of you are comfortable right where you are, and you're just here? What do you want? What do you ultimately want? More business? For what? For what? To take more vacations. I like that. That's a great goal to me. I like that. For more freedom. To me, I have people that'll ask me, why do you do what you do? And I've always had the same definition. My ultimate goal is I want the freedom to choose without restriction. Period. I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. No clue. I don't have a clue. I may absolutely change my mind, and what I say right now could be dead wrong. A year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I could want to be, feeding kids in another country. I don't know. But I do want the freedom of choice without restriction. And one of the ways to do that is to think in a blue ocean environment, is to put yourself out there, make yourself available to prospects, people seeking your information, seeking advice and counsel and a level of comfort and so forth in whatever business you're in, and allow that to work for you while you're able to do something else. That is one. So first, blue ocean strategy. Second is digitizing yourself. The third component is start leveraging each other. The power of this environment right here is this is a collaborative network. I want you to think about, so for Dave, if he has a website, Dave, what kind of website is it?
Any websites.
Oh, you have lots of websites. Are they WordPress? Are they blogs? Are they?
Some are HTML,
Some are flat, some are landing pages. Okay, so in your environment, if you were to generate your videos and your content and you were to just post it on your site, what do you have to do in order to be able to create a following, generate traffic, bring people back to that site?
obviously SEO.
So that requires an investment. So SEO is search engine optimization. That happens on your website and on other people's websites to try and move your website up in ranking. That costs money, yes. What else?
You can also pay someone to put it out to on-site database.
Absolutely. So third-party displacement of a site, which is directory listings and so forth. What else?
I can get others to do it on friends to put it on their sites, and or get it out on social media to repost it. Get that mushroom.
Absolutely. So think about this. If you're doing that by yourself, versus if you were doing those activities in a group environment. So if everyone in here is interested in generating more business from people who are potentially going through transition or who are in transition, do you have more content, more search engine optimization, more social media networks and marketing available as a group and as a unit or individually? It's absolutely as a group. So one of the benefits is you have the ability on the Divas website, some phase 2 launches here, which I think actually we revised the plan. It looks like it's going to be like the 8th, between the 8th and the 15th, so it's soon. One of the things you have the ability to do is to take your videos or create new videos, and you have the ability to publicize those videos on the site. You can create a blog post. So how many feel totally comfortable understanding how Google places websites? Anybody got it? Okay, so let me see if I can explain this. How many of you have seen Bruce Almighty? Yes? So do you remember when he goes into the big warehouse and God's in the warehouse and he says, everything you've ever thought, everything you've ever done, everything you've ever said is inside this drawer. That is Google. Every single website, it's not a website that gets placed inside a drawer, it's actually each individual page. So if you can imagine this room is filled with filing cabinets. Every filing cabinet has one specific category. So dentistry is a filing cabinet. Speaker or safety, that's a filing cabinet. And inside that cabinet, same thing, okay, private detective, that is a cabinet. Inside that cabinet, there's multiple drawers. The more pages you have inside a drawer that are talking about something very literal and specific, the more real estate you own. Now, they might be at the back of that drawer. They're in the billion pages or million pages area. But the more of them you have, the better. So think about this. If I create a page called services, what drawer is it, or our services, what drawer is it going to go into? You guys all have one of these in your kitchen. A what? A junk drawer, absolutely. Okay. Everybody has one junk
Just didn't
drawer.
have a name for that. It's supposed to call it a junk drawer.
I try and stay away from a junk drawer, but okay. It goes into a junk drawer. Junk drawer. What about a page on your site that says FAQ and it has your most important, frequently asked questions? What drawer does that go in? Think it's a filing cabinet, a receptionist has taken that piece of paper and they have to go put it in a drawer. What drawer do they file FAQ in? In that same drawer. How many of you go to Google and you type in FAQ and you're looking for something specific? Or you go to Google and you're looking for a private detective and you type in our services. So think about Google like a receptionist and a filing cabinet. If you hand them a piece of paper and they go to place it inside that drawer and it says our services or FAQ or our team or home or about us, congratulations. Almost every page on everybody's website is a junk drawer. Absolutely a junk drawer. However, on your side, I'm guessing you have cosmetic dentistry, and now you have you have one page per service. Everyone is a landing page. My poster child. Okay, so why would he create one page per service? If he has one page that says cosmetic dentistry, how does that get filed? Cosmetic dentistry, absolutely. What if he wants cosmetic dentistry Dallas? Or cosmetic dentistry Plano? Or cosmetic dentistry Frisco or whatnot? Put things in a literal drawer. So if you think about this, on Amber's website, you have the ability to first off leverage the network to try and get found for questions and or requests from a community of people who are all looking for almost always the same thing, right? And you guys are even better because you have the ability to play a domino effect. Once you understand what someone who is going through a transition needs, and you take a non-selfish approach to that, and you have the ability to start referring them to people in the network, is that an easy domino chain? Because, right, if you're going through a divorce, you've been through a divorce, yes? There's a series of activities you need to go through. Right? They're almost the same for all of us. And as you go through those, you slowly start checking those off. Some people more stressed than others. However, okay, inside this environment, you guys have the ability to operate that domino chain online and offline. Which one is more powerful? Why? It's searchable. It's permanent. Is what we're doing right here permanent? I'm going to make sure it's permanent. However, traditionally, when you go to a networking event, you stand up, you do your 30-second song of monkey dance, and you call it a day. It's not permanent, right? But we continue to repeat ourselves over and over again. Same thing when you sit down with a prospect and you go through and you have your 10 questions you ask them. In financial services, do you ask them the same 10 questions basically when you sit down with them? Do they ask you the same 10 to 15 questions every time you sit down with them? Absolutely. Are those questions all unique individual pages with the question and the answer on Google? And that is what is critical. If you want to replace yourself, you have to replace yourself, right? It's a choice. It's not a difficult choice either. So one of the things Amber's really fallen in love with and is leveraging on the site is Google Hangouts. How many of you have used Google Hangout before? Anyone? Okay. Recently?
Not real recent.
Not real? Okay.
Last 2
Yeah.
months.
All right. How many of you have a Gmail account? Okay. Google Plus? Okay. So let me go through some basics, and then of course, as Amber's new Phase 2 site launches, there's going to be a ton of how-to, abouts, and so forth. The great part about any information that I say, you're more than welcome to keep coming back and keep processing and learning, and we love that. Bring guests, plug. However, in addition to that, you also have the ability to go to where and ask the same questions. So if I say, it's very easy and it's free to get set up on Google Hangout, and you want to know how to, who do you ask? Google. The great part is we're in a day and age where it is absolutely pointless to be in the dark about anything. It's not necessary. Because the amount of information, if you were to go to YouTube and you were to say how to sign up for a Google Hangout account, it's going to give you a cute little video. It's 13 minutes and it shows you how to go from your Gmail, click the little plus sign, follow next, till your Google Plus account is set up. And then on the left-hand side, it's going to say start a Hangout. A Hangout is the ability for you to stand in front of, so for this computer, if I was on a Hangout, we would have a screen up right here. It's my webcam that's showing me. I can say start Hangout. There's 2 types of Hangouts. There is just a live broadcast and a Google Hangout on air. A live broadcast is you two need to do a one-on-one. Okay, old school method. What do you do in the old school method? You get it. No, actually, way before that, you stand in your closet. What shoes am I gonna wear? That doesn't go with that dress, right? You're going to this whole rigmarole to get ready.
That term one-on-one makes me cringe now.
This is like a 4-hour process to have coffee. I mean, at least for us.
Yeah.
So it's not a slow. It's not a quick process. So in this environment, traditional one-on-one, right? You go to a networking event, especially the ones that are industry specific, and they tell you you have to do a one-on-one with 4 people a week, and you start adding up the math. I will pay you to quit that group. Because it doesn't sound really, it doesn't sound totally nice. I'm going to take it for what it is. Totally permanent. However, for me, being forced to do 4 one-on-ones with people who I haven't qualified first, that's 2 days of effort. Okay? In my book, I have a list of what I consider HLAs. Anybody familiar with that phrase? So I call them high leverage activities. I know in my business and in my life what high leverage activities are. And that is where to start. When all of this is said and done, you knowing if your goal is to open up that school, and you absolutely can, the first list you need to create prior to the hiring list is, what are the high leverage activities that is going to help me get that goal in place, to open up that school, and then work backwards, right? Because if you set the bar here, and you can take this home with dating as well as okay, with your business, you set the bar here, you're going to get here. If you set the bar here, at least you might come in here on many levels. All right. So, old school networking, high leverage activity to me, it's not the whole process, getting ready, getting in the car, driving out, they're late, I'm late, fighting traffic, finding parking, and so forth. Only to sit down and say, who do you do business with, who's a good client, and to find out you two have different clients that you talk to. It's not the same clientele. That's a challenge. That's a missed opportunity of time. In a Google Hangout environment, and just a Google Hangout, a live Google Hangout, you have the ability to, you and I, you can have your computer, I can just call your computer, it's going to pop up a window, you and I are sitting actually closer than this, and we can see each other, we can hear each other, we can share screens, it's quiet, there's no Starbucks behind us, or coffee, or clinking, or anything, there is none of that, it's your and my ability to be able to get to know each other. How productive is that for your business? Is it? And it is okay to tell people, I know you really want an in-person meeting, and I respect that. However, for me to be able to fit in what I need to do in a day, I really would prefer if we could do just a 30-minute video, and it's going to save you 2 hours, right? And get comfortable telling people that. Now, if the question is, well, they don't know how to get on a video, what should you have at the tips of your fingers? Instructions. Another video that says, here's how to get on the video with me. Does that help you? That's like somebody, you telling them I want to meet you at Starbucks, and they're like, well, I don't really know how to drive. Okay? Send you a quick manual, call it a day. All right. So in this environment, does this feel personal? If we just had a computer, but we were still able to get the nuts and bolts about who you are, who do you service, what is your business, who's a good client for you, who's a good strategic partner, who's a good referral partner, and so forth. That works, yes? Now, if we find out there's synergies and we decide we want to work together, I'm not saying don't have an offline meeting, I'm saying earlier, start off and do that qualification process. Now, for me, even the second meeting, if we decide we want to do business together, we're targeting the same audience, it's great, I can endorse you, you can endorse me, and so forth. We can come to an event, we can sit down, and we can have another 4-hour exchange. Or, the reverse is, now you use Google Hangout Live on Air. At Google Hangout Live on Air, it says, would you like this to be live broadcasted? You click a box, say, I agree to terms, and say yes. That simple. It's going to automatically pop it up, and you have the ability to name that video, and you can have up to 9 guests attend with you. So in this environment, think about this. If there were 9 of us, and I said, hey, you guys, I'm going to show you how to use Google Hangout today on how to record a video. I can come here and I can do this on a screen, and that's fine because I'm going to walk out with the digital asset. Or we could jump on that video. I could hit Google Hangout Live on Air. Everybody could be sitting on their own screens. It's going to have my picture if I'm talking, and then it's going to have 8 people down here. And if you talk, your picture goes to the big screen. You talk, your picture goes to the big screen. It's instantly recorded with something that's called a lower third. You guys have seen a bumper on a news broadcast. Cheaters has a bumper. Okay, you guys have a lower third, right? That's at the bottom of the screen. And on that lower third, it can have your what? Your name, your website, your phone number. So think about the difference in us having this meeting on a Google Hangout with your face, your audio, no background noise, a lower third that has your name, a little icon or a logo, your website address, and a phone number. And during that meeting, we go through, we do a training, I ask you guys to introduce each other, tell me a little bit about your business. Now when you stood up to do your 30-second commercial, you didn't stand up first of all, but now when you did that, it is automatically, as soon as you hit stop broadcast, that video is automatically loaded into your YouTube account. And inside your YouTube account, it's already, there's no converting, there's no video, you don't have to download a disc, you don't have to do anything. As soon as you hit stop broadcast, it's automatically in there. Now what is the benefit? It's been digitized. It only took 15 minutes or 30 minutes, right? There were 9 of us that participated in a meeting. We were able to endorse each other and so forth. Your name, your call to action, your website, your phone number, everything is at the bottom of this video. Now take that video, and on YouTube, it has a title, and And in a description, you put a link to a lead capture form. So it says if you want more information or you're interested in joining us on the next hangout, fill out the form below. And there's a link and they fill out the form. Everything you do in marketing needs to be first to connect, second to convert. You always need to be looking for that next opportunity. So first to connect, second to convert. Don't forget the conversion, or what happens is you wind up standing up and saying, I have a YouTube account with 1,000 videos and I never get any business off YouTube. That is a personal choice, not a problem. Okay? So if you don't have a conversion, a call to action and a conversion form attached to those videos, you're out of luck. Now I want to, actually no, I'm not going to do that yet. I almost let my ADD get to that. Okay, so, you know how I feel? All right, so now let's take that video, and you currently have it in YouTube, and instead of posting it on a page on your website, take that video and create a unique post with the title, and that title, remember we were talking about putting pages in that drawer. Okay, it used to be content is king, you have to blog, you have to write these big articles, and that was this big thing. You don't have to do that when you do collaborative marketing, because it's the volume of content that outweighs, the volume of posts outweighs the need for actually physically having content. So you take one video, it took you 30 minutes. You take that video, you create a blog post on your website that says how to leverage Google Hangouts to generate more leads. For me, that would be a good title. For you, it might be how to improve self-esteem when going through a course. I don't know. So, or how to improve your self-image, or how to improve your look, or how to find a new husband, or whatever it is, right? And that's your title. Okay, and in that title, you now create that blog post on your site. This takes you all of a matter of, you write in a title, you paste a chunk of embed code, you put in an SEO title and a description. You put in a call to action, which is if you're interested in getting more information, if you're interested in getting, if you're interested in booking me to speak, if you're interested in a free consultation, if you're interested in a free quote, these are call to actions. So very, very simple. The cool part is you guys can make that so easy. You can have a graphics designer make you 10 call to action images. Tell them I want some hot, hot images. These are the 6 or the 10 or the 15 things I want people to do with me in business. Okay? You're gonna make those 10 call to actions. You can put them in a media library, so every time you create that blog post, you simply just click insert image. You embed a form, because you want to be able to capture their information, and you hit publish. Hopefully on your site, it automatically takes that post and it sends it to where? Where do we want it to go now? How about Facebook? How about Twitter? How about LinkedIn? Dig, Delicious, StumbleUpon. There's tons of them. So think about the marketing process, what just happened in that environment. 30 minutes, automatically uploaded, label it, copy the embed code, put in a title, paste a video, paste a form, hit publish. Then do it again on Amber's site. You're literally talking about within 1 hour, and that's when you're learning. Within 1 hour, you can leverage a 30-minute video on mass networks. Your own networks, your own social site, Amber's network, her social sites, and you're leveraging the community to be able to help improve trust. So remember when I was saying inside Google in the file drawer, you could have 1,000 pages in there for cosmetic dentistry, or for I'm clearing a little out of finance, and I'll tell you I'm familiar with your issues, and I will definitely address those on the financial planning side. But for legal and safety and speaking and so forth, unlimited, mass amounts of pages in there. So every question, every variation of a question, how much is cosmetic dentistry? Tell me 5 questions right off the top of your head they ask you. What's involved? How long does it take?
Obviously,
Do I have to be put to sleep?
And is it covered by insurance?
Yes, absolutely. So every one of those questions is a new post. Now, in order to get those pages, we're back to that big file drawer in Bruce Almighty. In order to get those pages from the back of the drawer to the front of the drawer, Google has to trust those pages. Any thoughts on how to make Google see that that page page or that post is trustworthy? What do you think that it wants? Thoughts?
You have a site that already is.
Say that again?
Have it come, you have a site that's already trusted.
Absolutely. It needs to come from a website that's trusted. So that's a big deal. If your website is a hunk of junk, I'm just going to rephrase, okay? If your website is a hunk of junk and it's violating a whole bunch of Google's rules, you have an HTML site or a flat site, or there's not enough content, or there's errors in the code, or content, spelling errors, all of the things that Google requires, then automatically it's not going to be a trustworthy site. So what you don't want to do is go through the process of creating the digital asset and dropping it into a tin can that can't be read or can't be crawled or can't be seen. That would be a waste of time. So the technology that you use, the first place you put it is very important. That's for most important. How else do you think Google gives you trust? So let's say your website you put it on is trustworthy. What else? So think about this.
How it's ranked.
How it's ranked?
How the site is ranked.
Yep. What's your
Page rank.
page rank? Absolutely. So you're on the technical. I like that. In this room, if I wanted you to trust me, why would you trust me?
Either I already had prior experience with you, or someone I trust has had prior experience.
Perfect. The cool part is everything, the entire process offline and online is identical. Absolutely identical. The way Google gives you a thumbs up is just like we give each other a thumbs up. If I know somebody that's done business with you and they had a great experience, thumbs up. If I've heard you speak, or I've heard you speak, or I've seen your work, or a third party, if I tell you about Divas and I tell you what Amber's putting together is a freaking powerhouse marketing system. If I say, do I have more clout than she does? Just because I'm a third party, not because I know more, right? No different than if Amber tells you these guys build an amazing piece of technology, you're going to trust her 100 times more than you would trust me. So Google is identical. Welcome to content requiring integration with social media. Every +1, Google share, comment, retweet, recommend, Facebook share, and so forth. Those social media interactions, whether you like social media or not, tough if you want to play in the Google game. Yes.
What's the difference from making a video and putting it on YouTube and sharing it on Facebook and Twitter?
I love that question.
As
Versus
opposed to
putting
making
on
a video on Google Plus.
okay. And actually, we're going to take it one step further. I love that question. So the question is, what's the difference between taking a video and putting it on YouTube versus sharing it on Google Plus? And I'm going to take it one more. Versus putting it on your own physical owned asset, your website /blog. Should be the same thing. When you post a video on YouTube, do you own YouTube? No. If somebody's doing a Google search and they just go to Google and they hit enter, right? That's what we do. We type, we hit enter. Type, enter. Do all the videos pop up? It requires a second step, right? You have to go in and click on videos in order to get all the videos to display. For the most part, we're changing that game. However, it's a text-based search. So when you post it on YouTube, you only have the YouTube viewers or people who are specifically and intentionally searching on YouTube. Now, when you take that video and you post it on Google Plus, if you have a big Google Plus account, I have issues on mine, but if you have a good, a really networked account and you post something, what happens to that post in 5 minutes? Any thoughts? It gets buried. What if I take that video and I post it to Facebook? What happens? I have 5,000 friends on my personal Facebook account. So I may hit how many of them? I don't know, maybe 10 to 20% at any given time during any day. Right? It's a different audience at midnight than at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays. So if I post that on Facebook, I get instantaneous results, and then where does it go? It goes away. The difference is when you post on a blog over time, as people continue to comment and like and share, and your page rank increases, and people visit, they actually search for whatever that is, and they land on that search because the title, you own that physical asset, and it grows over time. It becomes more powerful, whereas in a social media environment, it actually weakens. The content you post in a social media environment very quickly weakens, right? It's an immediate instant gratification, and then boom, never, never land. You don't. No one goes to somebody's Facebook page and searches back 8 pages. Well, let me say that. In business, okay, most people don't do that. If you're trafficking, you should research the people that look back at many pages, by the way.
I was about to say, in his business, they probably
In your business, I'm sure they do, and you do too. And those are called stalkers. All right.
Or ex-wives.
Or ex-girlfriends, yes. Okay, so that's the difference. When you take now, if you post on your blog and you post on the Divas blog, now you have 2 physical assets, and check this out. You can take the same 30-minute video and give it 2 different titles. So if on one title I say, how does cosmetic dentistry, blah, 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 and on another one I say, how much does it cost or is insurance cover it, and I take the same piece of content but give it 2 different titles, what am I doing now? Absolutely doubling your exposure. Now you can take that and you can even repurpose that same video. You recorded that video a year ago, you can repurpose the video, drop it into more blogs, give it 2 more titles and call it a day. Now you're taking the same 30 minutes. Imagine me, this is almost like spacecraft. I don't know how to say it, right? Imagine me being able to have Groundhog's Day with this 30 minutes I have right now. And that Groundhog's Day, I can say, boom, I'm going to use it right now, and I'm going to use it again in a year, I'm going to use it again in a year, I'm going to use it again in a year, and let that thing keep crawling. Valuable for your business? Absolutely. So, questions? Is it? Yes.
Can you do it on your phone?
Google Hangouts? All day long. Absolutely. Well, we have it. iPhone. I'm just kidding.
John can't do it.
Yes, you can.
No, John can't do it.
Oh, no.
I'm waiting for my plan to expire.
Yeah, that's good. What are other thoughts or questions? Yes.
I have a question. Dave talked about having landing pages.
Mhm.
Are you saying that it's better not to necessarily have a landing page, but have an informational page where they can get the information? Because what I think what you're
Another awesome question.
doing is get this information from me, so you're capturing the lead that way without giving them any information first.
So this is a awesome question and a total mystery and garbage in most marketing classes. This is really important. What you're doing is the right things, but you're doing them in the right order. Okay? Having landing pages, absolutely, but I guarantee you had lead generation systems that drive traffic back to those landing pages before you ever touched the landing page. Am I correct? You had really good advisors, or you did really good reading. You connected with somebody who knows what they're doing. I love that. The problem is most people hear landing pages capture leads, I'm in, and they go build a static web page and they have no way to drive any traffic to it. Remember, Google. If you go search for any search, okay, and you go look in that top left corner and it says one of 4 million or 400 million or worse than that, and you say, I'm going to throw one page in there, go. Right? Just one. It's not going to, it won't have any value. It won't have anything. So the great part about marketing is if you do the right things in the right order, you will see dividends. If you do the right things in the wrong order, you will see an expense. You will stand here and say it doesn't work. I can't generate business. The social media doesn't work. SEO doesn't work, and nothing. And you will complain about every company you ever do business with. So, saying that, to put things in order, right now, the very first thing that everybody needs to do. So if I'm going to break this down from a financial investment standpoint, starting at the lowest, what are the lowest investments you need to make right away to be able to start moving up that chain? The first thing is computer with a webcam. That's first and foremost. Second thing is you need a place to post content. So you have 2 options, or you have 3 options. The first option is you personally invest in a WordPress-based website that has an integrated blog, and you do it right. You create your own website. That can cost you $2,500. It can cost you $10,000 or $15,000, depending on how custom you get. Okay, that is a WordPress website. The second thing is, or you can join Divas and leverage her network and her website, and actually start creating some cash first. If an investment is difficult, create some leads and opportunities first by leveraging her platform, because she's we've provided that for you. That's a small membership fee. So that's second. You need a place to put content. The third thing is you need to personally change your behavior. It costs you nothing, right? Just a little bit of time. Our behavior is next. So I always tell everybody, the first is technology, second is strategy, third is behavior, and fourth is network. Those are the four things that are most important. Do you have the right technology? Do you have the right strategy? Do you have the right behavior? So you're going to come and you're going to listen, and things start soaking in little by little by little. But the questions we're going to start asking in 3 weeks, and so forth, we're going to start asking, did you report a Google Hangout? Did you interview somebody from the network? Have you created a video? Did you post a video on the site? So we're going to start asking these questions because our goal here, Amber and I, when we sat down, the goal was, we don't want to stand up and give you a piece of technology, tell you a bunch of strategy at this meetings, and then let everybody flounder because they do nothing with it. So our goal is, over time, every time you come, we're going to be asking for examples. I'm going to predict that in 4 months from now, you guys are going to do more of the presenting than I will in a heartbeat. You're going to be telling the story about you two doing an interview, how you created Google Hangout, you posted it up on the site, you had a lead capture form attached to it, you got 2 new leads off of it, turned into a new speaking gig, turned into a new client, and so forth. Those are the stories that we want to get to, not just a bunch of notes and me yammering for hours on it. Is that helpful? Oh, I don't even remember the first question. Oh, you should not do a landing page first. I'm sorry. How do I get there? I don't either.
It was a good transition in the room.
Not sure what happened there. Any other thoughts or questions? Or just thoughts? Is this helpful?
Can you have him pop in on a Google Hangout like he does sometimes? With Zoom?
Are you online?
I'm recording, but we can.
I just want him to see how quick.
Actually, I could do it too.
Knock it out.
Yeah.
All right, you guys say bye. I'm online. Amber, say come back.
Everybody say bye. Okay.
All right, we'll show you
Have a great
a quick
Wednesday.
Google Hangout. I'm telling you, it's